Hello, I'm Too Old for Toys, and this is a very short review of the Modeler Assistant Manipulators Gundam hands. So they come as a sprue, a couple of sprues for left and right hands. These are for the 1 in 100 scale mobile suits.
And we use, and one of the fingers cuts off.
I think they're out of styrene, made out of either styrene or ABS. So,
and on the XMD-2, a finger was cut.
Now this is my 2.0 Gundam. So size comparisons
with this hand.
You just assemble them off the sprue. The instructions indicate that you need to drill holes, but I found that it's possible to snap them together without doing that. Otherwise you need a 0.4mm drill bit to drill through the knuckles here, and it was very fiddly. I managed to do that without going that route. Expect to use some glue for this one. I used both styrene and also a dab of super glue to make sure, especially around here where the knuckles meet the palm, to make sure that the two halves of the hand are met completely and to make it stable. I had to trim off some of the pegs here also, so the fit isn't, the molding quality is kind of so-so, but you know, hands are very detailed and delicate things. Seam lines down the side of each finger, which it'd be nicer if you could clean those up with a knife. The texture on the backs of his hand is slightly rough. Overall the plastics are a bit rough. And there goes the finger again. So not perfectly smooth. Don't expect the plastic to be smooth and shiny as they are on a Bandai pair of hands. And also you can see the little dimples in the fingers here, sink marks. Also an indication that this is probably a knockoff pair of hands. I wonder if there are another set of poseable hands where they simply went and copied them. Not very well. This is the 3.0 hands. Now sturdiness wise, the 3.0 hands are about, let's see, if I was to give a percentage, I'd say like 3,000% more stable than the Modeler's Assistant hands, because this one is like molded together, all the knuckle joints, and I've never had any problems with these hands. I've never had any of the joints pop out for me, so I'm perfectly happy with this. The 2.0 hands.
This one is floppy.
These ones are, you know, they start off as a 3 joined together, these ones, and I cut them separately as one of the options. And they are a bit floppy because they're just styrene, and they only have one single knuckle joint in the actual finger themselves here.
No, two, you see?
But they're nice and fat, because these are more Zaku-esque hands.
Zaku?
Yeah, maybe it's because I didn't do all the drilling, but to be honest, I think if we did drill these knuckles, I think the tiny little pegs on it would break off immediately as soon as you did snap in, so I wouldn't even bother trying to drill them. So, are they poseable? They're extremely poseable. There's a ball joint where the fingers join onto the palm themselves, and there's a hinge on each of these knuckles on the digits themselves. So, bend here, bend here, bend here, and you can make it into a very naturalistic curve.
Hey, it really does.
Okay.
Dad,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's fat.
Yes, but that's not the Zaku, that's a Gelgoog.
If we just paint this red, then it looks like the Saga.
Yes, Junior. But we digress. Could I recommend them? Not really. But if you had a static model where you wanted to go to make some very naturalistic poses, then you could use these. But I wouldn't use them for holding weapons, although there is a slight peg. Oh, there we go. Extremely delicate. So
More delicate than this hand.
more delicate than any other hands for mobile suits in 1:100 scale that I've come across.
What
So
about
I would
one?
put them into a pose that I really liked, that I couldn't get from any other hands, and then I would glue all the joints together. Super glue them all.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Then you have
Because
to buy another
otherwise
one.
you could just, if I was to drop this onto my work surface here, I'm sure that I'm going to lose some fingers. Watch this. Did I lose any fingers?
Yep.
There you go.
One.
So I only paid something like $3
Ooh,
and I
cheap.
didn't have to pay any shipping. So
Cheap,
that's
isn't
okay.
it?
I think that's okay for having posable fingers where you glue them into position once you have them into a nice pose that you want to keep. But that's about it. Otherwise, you can probably forget about them. 3.0 hands. 3.0 hands.
Sandwich.
3.0 hands are fine. Oh, they do have one more thing, is the sculpt. I do like the sculpt of these fingers and hands themselves.
It's very
'Cause if you look,
detailed. It's very detailed.
it is very detailed. It's very thin. It's even fatter than the 3.0 hands, but not as robust. And you wouldn't be able to make a fist out of this, or I wouldn't bother making a fist out of this one. There's that tiny peg I was talking about. It's very shallow. Don't expect this to be able to hold any weapons. Don't consider wrapping the fingers around any handles and expect them to be able to hold anything with any strength. Oh. Bit of a nightmare, these. So consider this a warning to you. Bye!
Bye.